I'm good. Really enjoyed your film, sir.
Oh, thank you very much.
I was going through your filmography, and I realised that you've cast actors who've gone to play roles in comic book movies quite often. You've had Batman, Punisher, and Commissioner Gordon in this one. Are we rolling now? Oh, I'll just make a talk. But yeah, you had Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and Punisher in this one. You've had Bane, Tom Hardy. Did you have any discussions about that when you were on set?
No, I mean, Bane came way after I worked with Tommy and Commissioner Gordon. I guess Ben and J.K. met on set, and somehow that I didn't know what was going on, but apparently he became Commissioner Gordon afterwards.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of interesting aspects to the accountant, so much so that it's tricky to concisely describe. What was it about the initial pitch to you that made you want to direct, and how did you go about pitching it to the actors?
Well, there was no pitch. I was sent a script. So the script was the pitch. And when I was sent, Lynette Howell, the producer, sent me the script, and I just found it to be just unlike anything I'd read before. So when she and I met and talked about me doing it and agreed on like what my interpretation of the movie's going to be and stuff like that, then it was a matter of the same thing, identifying who I wanted for each part and sending them a script and meeting with them, and they all said yes.
Cool. And in the movie, Ben Affleck's character sticks to a very strict routine until Anna Kendrick comes along. Would you describe your directorial style as sort of sticking to the screenplay as much as possible, and how much do you allow for improvisation from the actors?
Oh, definitely. I always that's mandatory. When you get a screenplay, if you didn't write it, then, I'm definitely like starting to tailor it and massage it to a place. So I work with the screenwriter to, massage things so it feels personal to me, or, there are things that I just want to work on that. And then once you do that, and then you get your actors, you start to, I do a lot of work before I make the movie when I'm prepping it, rehearsal, like so dissecting scenes and talking about. And then after that, once we've done all the work, biography work, things like that, then I always encourage actors to play, to just like, if they surprise themselves, they surprise me. That usually is really good in the movie. There's a lot of moments in the film with Ben's character, especially, that are not written. Were not written. They're just improv moments that I just thought were really, because we've done so much research on the character and so much work on him, that it just felt right.
What moment was? Could you give an example of a Ben Affleck improv moment?
Oh, I can give you many of them. I mean, if I go through the movie, like the first time when he comes after the Rices leave and he comes into his office and his secretary says that she'd like to have her daughter have lunch with him, and when he walks in and he closes the door on her, the slamming the door on her was a total improv moment. That was never in the script. There are so many moments like that, or even improvised lines. The whole thing about incongruity, when he's talking to Dana, he likes incongruity. That was not written. Some of the stuff when he talks about autism later in the movie, when he says, "I'm autistic, I have autism," it's not because I want to relate to people. Like, that was, we always knew we wanted to get that in, and that felt like, but then Ben just got it in there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And The Accountant is a mid-budget movie, which we're seeing less and less of in Hollywood these days. And I know that after this, you're going on to collaborate with Netflix for the first time. What do you think the state of the industry is compared to how you first started in 1995?
Well, I think that the industry is a lot. They're risk averse. So, the idea of, I think what's interesting about The Accountant is that it's not based on an IP. It's not based on, it wasn't originally a comic book or a graphic novel. This is a totally original story. So what I think is, what hopefully maybe that if you can do a mid-range budget film that is entirely original and it's successful, people respond, hopefully then more studios will go, well, you know what, it could work. I mean, you have to make a good movie, but it'll open a door for maybe more stories like this to be told.